What's going on, guys? So, as you know from the last video you watched, the truck needed some work. We had a transmission line pressure issue, which is 100% could be related to the hello, fix this. Which definitely could be related to the hello. Can you work? Thank you. Which could definitely be related to the transmission filters. We need to change the oil in the truck. We're not really due for an oil change. I think we're at like 15%, but we're probably going to do a lot of mileage and I might not be home in the time to do it, so we might as well just do it now. We're doing an air filter as well and a fuel filter, depending on what the percentage says that it's at. Actually, same with the oil. The engine oil and stuff's at like 20%. We're going to leave those alone. Transmission is definitely due for service. We got to top up the front differential and just give the truck a good once over and make sure everything is working as it should be and that we don't have any issues whatsoever. Now, as far as the trailer goes, she's bad. So we did that final job with the trailer and well, it turns out it's a lot worse than I thought it was. And the shop that I was talking to, when I sent them the photo, it actually got a lot worse than he thought it would get. Oh, there's dirt on the lens. So this is our problem. So right now, here's the equalizer, and as you can see, that's where it should be. The bolt should be here. Now it's over here, and the spring is just about falling out. And there's a metal bracket. I got new ones, so I can show you what it looks like. So there, whatever, that works. So on the new equalizer, these are beefier. I had these custom made. I said I want the beefiest equalizer you could build. This is 1/2 inch steel, cold rolled, I believe it is. It's really thick. It's beefier. That one on there is 1/8. This is half. Or at least I believe it's 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch. One of the two. It looks like it's 2 plates into one by the looks of it. But to the point. So there's a piece right here for the slipper spring, and this is gone. This has been worn out to the point now it's flat and the curve's gone. The bolts are shot, and the center spring here, this bit down here, has a big crack in it on both sides. On top of that, oh, there's that nut. Hopefully we don't lose that. On top of that, we had to get new springs. I bought all beefy stuff. Now, this is a spring upgrade from the other one. I asked the guy, can we get a beefier spring in the trailer? He said, absolutely. Money is what's going to stop you from doing so. So I asked him, right now we have 7,000, well, we have 3,500 pound springs in the trailer, so 7,000 per axle. It's a 14K rated trailer. I asked what's the biggest I can get in there. He said a 4,000 pound is the biggest he has. So that's what he said, he recommended. So here it is. This is a 4,000 pound spring. So it'll give us 8,000 pounds of axle capability, and which is, we'll never actually do that because we're not registered for that. On the trailer, you can't upgrade the GVWR of a trailer unless you make it a U-built, sorry. And we're not doing that because we still have structural warranty for 5 years. We're about to run out of our other warranty. This should have been covered under warranty, but let's be realistic. I put 155,000, if not more, kilometers on this trailer. If it needs springs and stuff, that's on me, because I probably do more workload than the average person with this trailer. So, got some heavier duty springs. We got heavy duty equalizers. We're upgrading everything. The back springs we're not touching because he looked at them and he said they're fine. So I told him we'll try with these ones. If we feel we need to upgrade the back ones, he has them in stock. We do pass the shop all the time. So, and he's a genuine guy. He's a business owner. I'm a business owner. So we negotiated prices. This here in Kamloops to get the same fix and repair. For the parts probably wise, you're probably looking about $900. This was $450 or something like that, $470 or something, out the door. So just to get this spring here in BC would have been about $350 to $400 for the spring, especially for an upgrade with a custom size. And then same in getting a pair, and then the custom made equalizers. yeah, there's just no way that it's going to be feasible. There's just no way that that would have been at that price point. That guy had it in stock. He bent them, made them right in front of me, and he built them to the exact specifications of this trailer and kind of what we wanted to go around with it. And he actually said he helps a lot of hotshot guys like us. And so I was like, beautiful, perfect. I'll put his information down below if you guys want to use him too. He's in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So if you guys want to get him to work on some stuff as well, he's really reasonably priced. Now, however, he won't be able to install anything for you because he's literally weeks and weeks. I think he said he was like a month ahead in booking. So if you need something done right away, if something broke on your trailer and you had it towed to him, he would fix it. But if you're just looking to upgrade or just looking to replace things that need to be replaced maintenance-wise, but the trailer still rolls, he'll put you in the queue. But trailers are very simple to work on. If you can change your oil, you can work on a trailer. You can build a trailer if you can change an oil. That's pretty much how I look at it. So yeah, so I'm gonna walk over to the trailer and show you guys what really is happening with this thing. It went downhill fast. We just got back from Houston. Wow, look at that. There's a forest fire nearby. Welcome to BC. So my driveway's level, but if you look at the trailer, you can see that the trailer leans on this side. It's down half a foot. And it's a shitty situation for that. But as you look here, we're pretty much nice and high here. Tons of gap, tons of space here between the trailer axles. Not so much in the back because the front spring is lowered on this side a little bit. But on this side, we're pretty much almost touching the steel. So you can see here, this is a lot shorter, and so is this. And as you can tell, the only thing stopping it from going lower is the fact that the equalizer is actually touching the frame of the trailer. So that suspension has completely failed. Now, the good thing is, in Canada, we're allowed to do our own repairs. Now, in the US, depending on the state, you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to do major repairs to a vehicle or a trailer. You have to have a certified mechanic do it. Here in Canada, we're absolutely allowed to make our own repairs, so which is great. I don't know about semi-rigs. I don't work with semi-rigs, so I don't know the information. The guys down in the comments who operate semi-rigs will tell you if you can or cannot do such a thing. I imagine you can, seeing the fact that my wife is not a certified mechanic for heavy-duty mechanics, but she services big rigs and trailers all day long in the semi-rig side of things. I do the hot shot in the 1 tons, she does semi. So she might know that, but she's not certified and she works on them all the time. So I'm assuming that you don't need a certification for it, for a shop, but they have a guy there who double checks everything as she's working towards to get her certification, which would be nice to have a wife that can do heavy duty mechanics as you upgrade today. Because as you may not know, if you are new to this channel, we will eventually go to a semi. That is the goal, that is the plan. And I'm not going to buy a brand new semi truck, I'm going to rebuild one. I'm looking for a Peterbilt 379 or maybe a Kenworth. I haven't quite fell into my pocketbook yet to decide which one I want to get, because availability is the big reason if we pick one or the other. However, I'm going to be Kenworth or Peterbilt either way. Maybe Volvo is not so big here anymore. Plus, they're just really expensive to work on. And maybe an International or a Mac, one of those. It comes down to whatever's available at the time when I'm ready to pull the trigger on that job. So today we're going to do a transmission service, complete service. We're going to film that, and we're going to drain it. I have a custom drain pan so I can actually drain the fluid, and then we'll have a quick inspection, and let's hope that the let's just hope that the filter is very dirty and the fluid comes out black, because if it doesn't, we got to take on to the next step, which is an intermittent electrical issue, which is a sensor or a wire being chewed up, or our transmission is on its last legs and it's about to kick the bucket. That being said, with the mileage we're at, it'd be very rare or very odd to hear that. Oh, by the way, if you ever wonder why there's lead underneath here, it makes it level with the concrete floor. So when you fill stuff up, you don't get overfilled. And my garage does not fit this big ass truck in it. When they built this house, they were not expecting a 1-ton crew cab long box to come into this bitch. So here we are. Let's grab some tools. And oh yeah, we also need to check this side. We have a lot of vibration coming out of this side of the tire. So we're gonna have a look at that as well and see if we need ball joints or possibly a U joint or something. Grab ourselves a, no, that's right, we can't do an impact on that because it doesn't fit. So we need to grab ourselves 3/8. And I believe there are 13s underneath that thing, so we maintenance a lot of the truck. But anyhow, I'll get you guys set up. We're gonna underneath the truck, get some drain pans in order, and we'll get started on this service. This just in, I think it's 10 mils for the actual thing, and there's a car coming up my driveway. Could be the police telling me there's a fire close by. They tend to visit. Anyhow, we get you guys set up. I'm hoping it's not a 10 mil for the transmission. It looks like an 8 or maybe a 10, which can make things lots of fun. But we'll get it. See you guys soon. All right. This is gonna suck. I hate crawling underneath this fucking truck. Ugh, it's so hot, especially right here with the freaking 5-inch exhaust. It's just so hot. Although, that's cool, but there's no leaks. I don't see any leaks whatsoever, which is nice. Normally these Dodges leak like a sieve. Axle seal leaks still exist. I think the ball joint's shot. But we'll have a look on it. First things first, let's get this damn thing drained. I think it's a 17 mil. Yeah, of course it's a 17. I do this shit all the time. No, let's go this way. So when I said I had a custom pan, the custom pan part of it is just the drain plug. So I can actually service the transmission without requiring to drop the whole freaking thing, which is super, super convenient and super, super nice. And is that plug undone? Yes, it is. And we're going to quickly just get out of the way. Right in the face. It smells burnt. Well, it's very, very red, but it smells. Ooh. Ladies and gents, we have a problem. There's lots of metal on the magnet. That being said, I've not cleaned the magnet in like 100,000 kilometers, so there's a little bit of metal. And that fluid is, actually it's quite red. So, oh boy. Well, you might be driving a dead truck, ladies and gents. What do you think? You guys tell me what you think of that transmission fluid. She looks fairly clean to me. But she smells burnt. Not burnt, but smells like it needs some service. Are these a 10 mil? They don't look like a 10 mil. No way they're 10. They got to be like 8 mil at least. Hot. Yeah, they're an 8 mil. Great. Fucking tiny bolts. God, that's gross. Just an 8 mil. 9:30 seconds, but I'm gonna cut it. Much disappointment. 9. I got 3 9 mils. 8. Okay. Let me grab an extension. Ugh. I hate crawling underneath this stupid thing. At least there's no rust. Like, fuck, it's almost 320,000, or I think it's over 320,000 K. She's not rusty, so that's a positive note. Well, we're gonna see in about 30 seconds if I need to go buy new trans or not. Ugh. Oh boy. Well, I'm kind of looking forward to maybe having to buy new trans, but at the same time I'm not. Okay. Well, these bolts are nice. Is this RTV or is there a rubber gasket in this thing? I don't remember. Okay, we're getting slide this over here now. Get more involved. Try not to blind myself here. Ugh. Why can't I use an impact on these? Just to take them off at least? Ow. That was hot. Seems like the transmission's draining its whatever it needs to drain. Ugh. Jesus. It stinks. This transmission just reeks, man. Like, it's not burnt fluid. I wouldn't call it burnt fluid, but like, it's not smelling so hot. Or it could be just because it's hot. That too could be it too. Oh no, it's so far away. Okay, we're going to get the impact on this situation. I'm not going to fuck around with this anymore. Okay, scratch that. But my impact's fucked apparently. So whoever used it last broke it. Nice to know. The Chuck doesn't want to hold on to stuff anymore. Alright. You know what? I'm just thinking about it now. I'll probably put this thing back in. It's a little bit of metal on it, but like that being said, like I don't know if that's going to be an issue. I don't know if I'm just being overly concerned about something that shouldn't be. Like, if it was a diff, I wouldn't say anything, to be fair. But transmission, I don't know. These things cost... Fuck, I don't know how much this transmission costs to get replaced. I can tell you right now, I wouldn't replace it with a original. I'd go to an Allison. ATS makes an Allison transmission. It's direct bolt-on. And the crazy thing too is, like, in a couple days we have to replace the turbo actuator, which is right there. We're gonna do the Egr Delete at the same time as the as we remove that. All right, let's put some bolts down here. So this is RTV'd on. I've got the TV around here somewhere. Okay, let's rig this loose. I like these speed wrench ratchets. Oh, they're so great. These are the cat's fucking pajamas. You guys ever need a pair of them? I bought this from it's a kit I bought from Canadian Tire. What is it, a Master Crap or something like that? Maximum. An apprenticeship kit or something like that. I don't remember what it's called. But they were on sale for $600 Canadian, and it came with 2,500 pieces or something like that, and it came with every socket pretty much that you could ever want, long, short, stubby, 6, 12s, and like these flexible ratchets in 1/2 inch, 3/8, and quarter. Can I lay my head down? Thank you. In 1/4 inch. And they're worth their weight in gold. I never thought I would ever use a flexi ratchet, but my god, if you ever get the opportunity to do so, man, just do it. So worth it. Hey, come on. Yeah, that's hot. Hot. Trans cool lines are fucking... Well, the one line's cool, but the other side's hot. Oh, RTV is just fucking me today. Bitch, come on. Alright, the rest of these will come off with the extension. This is annoying, so annoying. I'm actually genuinely concerned about this transmission. Now, it's not hard to drop it. This fucking trans only takes like 20 minutes to drop, which is super easy. For those guys who never dropped a trans in your life, I dropped a lot of them in my day. So this is lots of room in these trucks. Just take the exhaust off, the transfer case bracket here, this piece, and disconnect the front drive shafts and rear drive shaft, and literally I think it's like in total something like 15 bolts or something like that. I dropped the T-case and the transmission at the same time whenever I had to drop it in my old truck. Now my old truck was a manual NV5600. This is my first automatic 1-ton, apart from the Limited that I had for a little bit there. But that truck I didn't use for work all that much. That was mostly just because I made good money and I decided to have that truck. How you doing on charge over there? Huh, you're still somewhat charged. Good. Well, you know, they say you're not working on your truck unless you're bleeding or leaking fluid over yourself, right? That's the words. That's how that works, I think. I have all these bolts out of this transmission now and it's still holding. That RTV is holding on better than my ex-relationships. You know what's funny? The truck on the underneath is a lot cleaner than the truck on the outside. Like, you'd think this would be dirtier, but it's not. She's relatively clean. Now, come on, stop being a dick. The RTV just keeps holding on to it. It doesn't, like, it's not in the thread it into the nuts, it's just holding on to it for dear life. It looks like we might have to get a screwdriver in this situation to break it loose. Because it looks like it's not going to come out without one. So, I'm going to go grab some tools. I'll be right back. Ugh. Ugh. Alright, now if you squint your eyes very hard and don't look at the monitor, this looks like a hammer and a chisel. But it's actually a rubber mallet and a, what's that? Oh, it's actually a rubber mallet and something else. But you know, if you just don't look hard enough, you'll be fine. You'll be all good. I should probably put some gloves on because that's really hot. I'm gonna actually put some gloves on. Right back. Take me. What is it? Oh my. That's what all over this chair. Like every day. Alright. Bring me down into the transmission, Johnny. Alright. There we go. Where's our tool? Here she blows. Okay. How many bolts we got here? We got 1, 2. And I don't think we're gonna need. I don't think we need any bolts. I think the stupid pan is being held up by all its own terms. Ah. Houston, I almost died. BC WorkSafe, come help me. I need someone who could stare me with a safety vest on and tell me how to do my job. I can't do it without them. Hey, but hey, the contact patch is amazing on my tires. You can see them very, very well from here. Should pump them up, that looks like. Okay, all bolts off, seems to be. Okay. That's it's not a lot of fucking space underneath this fucking thing. Well, there is tons of space when you get into the right area. Okay, where's that chisel? I've done this once already on this truck. If I recall, it sucked. Ow. What the fuck is that? Stupid bolt burn on the back of my neck. Okay. Tell me about it. Not a lot of space here. You know what? Actually, we're going to do something a little smarter here. Someone in the comment section is just screaming his ass off right now on his computer monitor. Ugh. Yeah. That I should probably put some bolts in here so when I break it loose, it doesn't just fall immediately. You know who you are. And, you know, with the big-ass gloves on, you have the dexterity of a child. I love it. You know what? Stop. Thank you. I don't want you leaking on my face. You ever feel young again, crawling around a truck? That you know that every single part of it is here to burn you because you decide to go to Kamloops to pick up transmission fluid, and then you get a job where you have to do a stupid transmission service while the engine's still hot? Yeah, I'm that guy. How did I get here? Stupidity and impatientness. Because I gotta leave to pick up a trailer tomorrow in bloody Terrace, BC. That was stolen, so I gotta bring a dealer plate with me to do that. It's a power only job, paying a stupid amount of money. So, I don't know. Okay, how big are you there? Perfect. Alright, give me back over here. Give me this and this. Go away. Oh, so much stuff. This is why people have hoists. This just doesn't suck to do the job. Oh, I might be able just to push that through. Am I kidding? Who the fuck do I think I am? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna need to figure out something else here. Give me a sec here. I need to grab a very, very small flat. Ugh. Hello, boat. Smaller hammer, a cheat. That is very clean right there. What the fuck? It's like not a speck of dirt in this like square. That's crazy. Alright. Get covered in transmission fluid in 5, 4, 3. Oh wow, this is very awful. Not happening. How about down here? There's like no room to do anything. This is crazy. Crazy, I tell ya. Nope. Maybe over here. Looks like just might be enough room over here just to be dangerous. Is that? Yeah, a little bit. That's crazy. Or do I have to come from the back? Is that possible? Oh, it is possible. Okay, let's try this. Right to the T-case. Right into the transmission pan. We'll use this tool then. Boom. Skadoosh. Alright, now we have tons of room. We're getting through? Oh, we are. A little bit. Alright, over here. One more. We're through. Oh, not quite. I felt the give then. There it is. Did you hear that? Boom. Hear that little pop? There it is. We're nice and loose now. Like I said, get ready to be covered in transmission fluid. Oh, we might be lucky. Might be just enough. Pull it on there where we won't get covered. Okay, so let's put our face underneath this and try not to get covered. Come on, work with me here. There we go. All right. Get our face from underneath that transmission pan, just in case. And we'll actually put our face over here, so we have a second hand here. There we go. Now we gotta take this. Oh, come on. Quit being a wiener. Rotate. Oh, we fucking mess over here now. Well, we found the remainder of the transmission pan. Come on. Drain the remainder. There's a an oil filter right here. Makes it a bitch to get this off. Come on. Should have removed that dipstick. Okay, we'll let that drain for a minute. I'm gonna get my hand undirtied. Alright. Let's get back stuck into this shit show of a mess. Okay, now come on. There we go. Well, ladies and gents, we got him. Alright, let's take this glove off. Use the iPhone here and let's have a look and see how she looks. See if there's anything screaming at me. Give me the fucking light. Give me the light. Well. You guys want to see? Let me show you the bad news. With one fell swoop of something simple. Here's a white rag. Look at all that metal. I don't know if you could tell how shiny this filter's supposed to be. That's all metal. Which means, let's have a look inside this pan. Don't worry, I'll bring you out. Alright. Here's the pan. Let's go have a conversation with it over here in the on the table. I think we have some major problems. I'm sweating like a whore in church during confession. We need a light. Good enough for now. Let's see what we see. Oh, not too crazy. All right, I thought it was gonna be a lot worse. It's a lot worse. So we have chunks of metal. In the pan. And down here in this corner, we have lots of metal. I don't know. She drove here. So either it is worn out completely to the point where we're starting to look at new possible trans, or something else. I don't know yet. But maybe I should just trade in, do a full service, and just send that out to the dealership. Let that be someone else's problem. I don't know yet. It probably needs a trans rebuild. That would explain the line pressure issues if the trans cooler is full of metal. That definitely would explain. Now, that being said, again, we are at 120,000 kilometers on this trans. I don't know what to say. It is what it is. We're going to investigate, clean up, figure out what's going on. We do have new transmission filters, which is good. I think they're on the other side. Yeah. So we do have new filters for the transmission. So genuine Mopar part. So this is the big filter, and then I believe this one right here is the little spin-on filter that they have in the actual truck itself. So this is the little filter. So this little guy. Look at that. What does it say on it? This has like a thing on it. Mopar wrap double sealed thick protection packaging. Okay. And this is our new filter that has to go in there. See how shiny that is? Did you see how matte gray that was? I don't know. I think it's time to start saving up for a transmission. Anyhow, we'll get that stuff off. We'll get it back in, and we'll continue the service with you guys down there and show you how to get all that stuff off, and hopefully we can get that plastic piece out, because last time it was a bitch. And we had to get a what was it, an Allen key on it, I think it was. We had to get like an Allen key to go in here and to break it loose out of the trans last time. Hopefully we won't do it again, but it is what it is. We'll see you guys when we get down there. Alright, give you an update what's happening. We took the filters off. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but it's still draining. And it's been draining for like 8-9 minutes now. So, don't know why, but it's continuously to drain. I want to get as much fluid as I can out of the transmission, obviously. Now, I did send a video and a couple photos to a couple transmission shops that I have had done work before, just to get opinions. I thought it was bad. Like, seriously, need to start planning to get a transmission ASAP. And to the point that I actually called the transmission shop and said, hey, let's start pricing out, start getting parts in for this transmission, and because I see a ton of metal in the pan. To me, being a worrywart, turns out that the transmission shop guy said that's normal, the amount of transmission fluid and the metal I see is completely normal with the wear and tear that we put on the truck. He said, oh, for the love of God, like, none, stop. He's calling me back, 1 second. Alright, so that was the transmission shop I just got a phone with. he said that the little chunk of steel I had in the bottom of the pan, he said that's a little concerning, but it's in the bottom of the pan. So he's like, it never went into the actual transmission side. He said it looks like a piece of, what did he say again? Like either a gear or a clutch plate, a clamp or some type of spring or something. He said the color of it does not make it anything critical to worry about. But he said that at the mileage that we're at, it's pretty common to be seeing things in the transmission that you normally wouldn't. This is the longest mileage truck I've ever had. As soon as they hit 160 thou, I normally trade them in and get a new one. As soon as the warranty runs out, pretty much. I'm not spending $100,000 on a new truck. If this transmission drops tomorrow, it's still cheaper for me to replace it than it is to get a new truck. Because to get a truck built like this is close to $90,000, $92,000. They have come down in price a lot, but they're not where I bought my trucks new. This is also the first secondhand truck I've ever had. I've always bought my trucks new every 2 years, and just for the warranty reasons and not to have a headache with it. As far as this goes, who knows? He told me in a jokingly manner that run it till it hits 400 and then sell it off to someone else and let them deal with the problem and buy myself a new truck when the prices come in. I will buy a new 3500 once the prices come down to close to 70,000 because that's where they're at. That's where they should be. That's what these trucks are worth, especially with how I've spec'd them out. I'm not ever going to pay more than $70,000 for a Ram 3500 one-ton truck, crew cab, long box, four-wheel drive. Not ever, not going to happen. I don't care. Ram can set the prices to $1 million. So be it. Those when the recession hits, as it already has started, the truck prices have come down significantly. The dealership that I bought this truck from had this spec truck for $101,000, and now they're down to $80,000, $85,000, $84,000, $15,000 in discounts is what's on these trucks. They try to call me to get me to buy one because they can't sell them right now. They ordered a shit ton of work trucks in my spec with the stereo, the high output, and everything else. Like same kind of specs that I have in my truck. And they bought 40 of them. And now they are the proud owners of about 30 of them. So, and they can't sell them. They can't move them because they overpriced them. And all the people who bought these trucks at the ridiculous prices, I swear none of them have a brain, or they're either mentally stupid or just more money than they know what to do with. If you bought a truck outright in 2021, 2022, 2020, then you have more money in the brains. If you financed a truck at that point, you are now officially almost $40,000 underwater of your loan. What does that mean? It means that your truck's worth $40,000 less than what you owe on it. So a lot of people right now are currently having $1,500 truck payments and are not making $1,500 a month to make it. Whereas I'm close to $875 a month for this truck, but it's also on a 4-year term. I only have 4 years of loan on this truck, and it's already almost paid off, to be fair. But I will buy a new one once they come down to reasonable pricing. Maybe another second-hand one. I don't know. But I told them what I want to be. I said when those trucks hit 70 thou, give me a call. I'll fly over and pick one up. But they said it'll never be that price again. Those days are gone. Cupcake, I was alive when the recession hit the first time in 2008. That is the day that one-ton trucks, you could get them for $40,000. They were selling for $70,000. When I was 17, I had a one-ton Ram 3500 crew cab long box. Extended cab long box, 97. Non-dually, which was cool. It was a custom order. It was a sport package. It was rare, very, very, very rare. Extremely, Ram made maybe 1,000 of them total. Most 3500s back in the 97 series were dually. You couldn't get non-dually unless you ordered a a couple of packages. It was like an ambulance package, or it was like a cabin chassis or something. It was the VIN was a cabin chassis truck, but it had a box added to it by the previous owner to me, and it looked like a crew cab long box or extended cab long box MV5600 with the 5.9 Cummins, and it was color matched. It had sport package with colored bumpers, no chrome on it whatsoever. It was a gorgeous truck. I regret selling it. But in 2007, they were selling these trucks for close to $70,000 to $65,000, and if you could get one. And then 2008 hit, the market crashed, and you could buy the same truck a year later for about $45,000, including tax, out the door, if you could get approved for financing. I did that, and I bought one then, and I got instant approved because I have good credit. But I came in walking with $5,000 down, and the dealership turned around and said, "You don't need to put anything down." So we did $0 down. I think it was 5.95% or something like that, because the interest rates at the time were really high. And yeah, I stole these trucks away. And then now I watched it from 2019 when the pandemic started, watched the prices go way up, and I told everyone, don't buy a truck. Guys who did are now suffering. Unfortunately, the world of the hotshot, the truck you drive, yes, you may at the time be making $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month like we do, or $5,000 a week, $10,000 a week, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. That pricing is based on what you're willing to work, and if you have the reputation to have the good work. In the circumstances of these trucks, if you're paying $875 a month versus $1575 a month, or vice versa, you can price that into your kilometers. You're talking 10 cents a kilometer and less payments. That 10 cents kilometer on a 1,000-kilometer trip is $100 and something after taxes and everything. So to a customer, $100 is the price between getting the job or not getting the job. So either you have to have a price cut on your wage of 10 cents a kilometer, or you get a less expensive truck. So those guys who are out hotshotting right now with Platinums and Limiteds with $150,000, $130,000 loan on them, you know who you are. Unfortunately, I feel bad for you, because as the market starts slowing down, prices start coming down, but your cost stays the same. If anything, actually right now, the prices are starting to come down in how much you can charge for a job, and things are starting to go up in cost, such as fuel, insurance, all those things. As the recession hits, people are, in lack of a better word, committing insurance fraud, burning trucks down, letting them get stolen, saying they've been stolen, and they stash them somewhere in the mountains. There's actually, in my job, I've gone into bush sites, and I've gone off-roading with friends and gone quadding, and have found several work trucks, 3500 Cummins, F-150s, F-250s, Silverados, just stashed in the bush, just saying they were stolen. And, you call the RCMP and you let them know you found fucking 20 or 30 trucks, and, that's what it is. And it turns out, like, the last one we found, there was 7 Ram 3500 one-tons in the bush, and we called the RCMP, we gave them the VINs, and they said, yeah, it belongs to a company. It was a shipping company. I'm not going to give the name now. I know who it is. They went belly up, and the guy was getting sued. He had insurance on all the trucks, said they were all stolen. He shoved them in the mountains, not expecting anyone to ever find them, because in order to get them in there, he had to go bush bashing with the trucks into the forest. So, unfortunately, stupid flies, unfortunately, that happens, and it's causing our insurance to go up because of that. I'm locked in because I told my insurance company I have no fucking way I'm paying more than $19,700, and I will just keep $500,000 in a line of credit and just have the insurance based on that, which you can do, just register your own insurance company for that reason. Now, sounds like that finished draining, so now we can get our new stuff on. Thankfully, with the spin-off filter, the plastic came with it. Last time it didn't, and it was a bitch to get out. But it came with the filter this time. Came out, no problem at all. I didn't tool tighten it. I had it hand tight, so I was able to spin off like a regular filter. So now we're going to be able to thread the new one on. And yeah, we'll fill it up and we'll hope for the best. Everyone is kind of saying that there's nothing I have to worry about there in that transmission for now. Just keep an eye on it. So we will. So instead of going 100,000 to change the filters, we're now going to lower it down to 60, because if there's a lot of metal, we're going to flush a lot of metal out with the new filters, and obviously with the transmission, being fully serviced now with fresh fluid, it's going to push that metal out of the cooler and everything else like that. I added more magnets to it. So instead of, if you wonder why it's black and red, it's because I ran out of RTV and I have different color RTVs. So now I added 2 more magnets to the pan, including the drain plug. So we're going to try to catch as much metal as we can in this pan. And on top of that, we're going to service it more often. So we're now going to do filters every 60 thou instead of every 100 thou, so every third fluid change. We're doing it every second fluid change, and we're going to monitor the situation and advise future on that. We're also, just for my own courtesy, we're going to start saving up money. We have about $6,000 in the company account as it is towards truck maintenance, which would rebuild this transmission. Absolutely. But only if I dropped the trans, brought it to a trans shop, and put it back in when it was done. What I want to do is get that Allison transmission kit ordered, pay off the credit card I'm going to use to do that, and have it here in the box with everything we need. So the day that drops, I can get it towed in, because I have a BCAA that allowed me up to 1,000 kilometers of towing wherever it is to my house, which is free, which is mint, or have it towed in, either one. If it does drop, hopefully it drops in the house or somewhere close to home, not somewhere in the bush or out with a load, and we will get the Allison put into it. And yeah, that's literally all we could do. As far as putting an ASIN back into this truck, not going to happen. It's just, if it's worn out at 320,000 kilometers and it blows up a 400 thou, I want an Allison 1000. I know it's good for 1 million. They're in medium duty trucks. I know this is heavy duty, but when it comes to like actual super like heavy duty, medium duty, this is considered a light duty truck. So some like a school bus or like a single axle or a big rig, things like that have an Allison 1000 in them. And there's tons of rooms. The kit's a direct factory bolted, and you don't have to fuck with anything. It works out of the box, and they have a control module that allows you to communicate with the transmission module and the truck without having to mess with a bunch of stuff with tuners and stuff. And it's just a seamless transfer case over whatever it is. It's just perfect. You might have to resize the drive shaft. Supposedly that might be it, but it depends on what kind of drive shaft it is. Since I would have to rebuild the drive shaft, I would get a single one-piece drive shaft instead of that double bolt one. I've never had drive shaft issues with Rams. I know other hot truck guys who have, but I have not abused the truck. I don't put it on extreme tune, hauling 30,000 pounds and floor it. I don't do that. Never have, never will. So I don't break transfer cases or differentials or anything like that. Never had a problem with that. But yeah, let's get the filters back into this thing. Let's get it filled up with fluid, and we're going to continue monitoring more often. We're also going to top up the front diff, and then we're going to inspect the computer and see what the oil life's at and what the fuel filter's at, and go based on there if we're going to change those two. See you in a bit. Alright, so now we just got to wait for this bad boy to hit 160. That's where it likes to be, 160, 168, somewhere around there. So we'll let her idle in neutral. It'll pump the fluid around, and then we'll check the level. And so far so good. Shift's fine. Like when I put in drive and neutral and all that stuff. Crew test is going to take it for a road trip in about 10 minutes. It's at 140 right now. We'll keep letting this engine warm up. We'll trans. Once trans at full temp, we'll check the level, and then we'll go from there. See you guys in a bit. Alright, how's it going? So, air filter done. This thing, the active ram air shit. Transmission is, it's almost done. I put every liter of fluid I had in it. All of it. And it's still only registering halfway up the dipstick. So we put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 10.5 liters of transmission fluid. Now for a normal service, oh geez, this is so dirty. How you looking there, dear? Hello. Whatever that was. So I'm probably yelling at you guys because the fucking music's so loud in my headset. So we put about over 10 liters of fluid back into this thing. Is this blurry? Okay, it's not that bad. All right. I thought it'd be horrible because like the lens and the light is just insanely dirty. But yeah, so we are done that. I'm gonna get new fluid, not new fluid, but more fluid from Kamloops. The Lorco that is closest to me, like technically the Cache Creek Lorco is closest to me by like 2 minutes. And you don't have to go into town. With Cache Creek, it's just a pass-through town. It's like literally it's a T-junction. That's all it is. But Kamloops has stock. Cache Creek doesn't. They're out of stock. And so I got 8 liters of it because that's normally what it requires for a transmission service. However, I forgot that's a drain and fill. That's not a filter service. So I had an extra 2 liters. Wasn't enough, apparently. So I have to go get more. Just changed the air filter. That's what it looked like. A little concerning about the oil there. Don't know where it comes from because all the PVC system is atmosphere. That's it. So don't know what that is. That could have been water that took on dirt. Could be a million things. There's no actual oil getting into the intake. So that probably is that's probably actually water ingest from the front because there's a little vent in these active ram air things where in the front of the grill there is a hole that goes directly in. We went through a crazy rainstorm the other day during a load with the white truck with the Silverado. In the last video, we went through a nutty fucking storm. So I wouldn't be surprised that we got a little bit of water in the filter and the dirt just kind of makes it turn brown. As far as like oil goes, it's just not there. So the truck's done. Fuel filters at 24%, oil changes at 24%. I normally change them at the same time. So, well, I changed the oil at 12,000 and I changed the filter at 20. Pretty much whatever the computer says to do so. We have a fast system in this truck, so the engine filter never gets dirty. As I don't know if I ever uploaded a video doing the service on this truck, but the filter comes out white. It's spotless. But I just change it as a peace of mind thing. It is a nano based one. I can actually show you because I have it. So the filter on this is pretty fucking extreme for the Cummins. I like how it says applications 2013 Ram 6.7 Cummins turbo diesel. We have a 16, but it's the same part number. They have the same fuel filter for all 6.7s. I think. Yeah, for all 6.7s, they're pretty much identical. That's what it comes out looking like when I change them. The same white, just wet. So our fuel system is super clean. We have a big ass water separator, which I never have changed. You just have to drain on the fast system. And the fuel filter on the fast system, I change every 40 thou, which is the recommendation based on the mileage and the type of fuel I get. I don't fill up. I very rarely fill up directly from the pump. With the slip tank, I have a 20 micron filter on that as well. So this truck goes through 3 filtering types and a water separator before it ever gets to the engine itself. So it's probably the most filtered fucking fuel it's ever going to have in its life. And we don't fill up in shitty gas stations. We only fill up in high flow stations. Now what I mean by high flow stations, some of you might get it, some of you might not. High flow means that they do at least 1,000 liters of diesel a day. I don't fill up just because the price is the cheapest. I don't fill up at those stations. There could be a gas station that's $1 a liter for diesel right now. I won't fill up at that place. Chances are the fuel, like there's some gas stations in the middle of nowhere that have diesel for cheap, 20-30 cents cheaper than everybody else. And we just don't fill up there for a reason. Like Reserves is one place we don't fill up. Nothing against Reserves. It's just they don't get the best quality of fuel. And that's because that's how the oil companies treat them. They don't pay taxes or anything like that when it comes to fuel on the Reserve. So oil fuel companies just jerk them off. They just look for whatever. We don't care. So they give them like a grade B fuel kind of thing. Even though it's a Shell or a Husky, you get what you get. And if you don't believe me, go to a Reserve, pour a liter of diesel into a clear container and then cover that, put that in a water bottle, and then take it pretty much to a Shell station, the same company, whatever, pull a liter of diesel out of a high flow area, which is like a major city or a highway route kind of thing, and you'll see the clarity difference. It's night and day difference. Sometimes when you're pulling diesel from certain gas stations is green or a golden color, I have found. But I have also filled up at some places. Hughes here in Canada happens to be bad for that at their semi pumps of being brown, because there's that much shit in it. But these tend to take care of that. The fast system's amazing. If you don't have a fast system on your truck, on your diesel truck, you are fucking the diesel truck. You should always have a fast fuel system on your truck. Yes, it's expensive. Like, I think it's like $600 right now. It's worth it all night, day long, period. Done. If you have a CP4, one, going to get a recall done and get back to the CP3. If you have a Cummins turbo diesel, it is a recall. So if you do have a CP4, if you have 2019 or 2020 or possibly 2021, there is a recall on them for the CP4. And this song is horrible. It sounds like someone's beating a dog to death. What is this? Get Into It by Doja Cat. You need to stop singing. Oh my god. Sounds like she has a fucking, like, something stuck in her throat and she doesn't know how to sing. What happens when you get people with no talent with computer software? Not like the 50s or 60s where you actually had to be good. Don't mind the song itself, but man, her lyric, like her voice just fucking... I'd rather have a pine cone shoved up my ass backwards. So, yeah. So everything is done on the truck. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know there wasn't much of me showing the trans other than me taking the stuff out. As far as putting everything back, I didn't record that because, one, it's dark. Now, it is not actually nighttime where I live. There's just a humongous fire at the moment. About a couple clicks away, not a couple clicks, like 40 clicks away. And the smoke is so black and thick from it that it looks like it's night outside. Like, it looks like it's night. It's not. It doesn't get dark around here until like 11 at night. If you actually go outside and look out the window, you can actually see the smoke, and you can see the sunlight being blocked by the sky is very, very orange and very dark orange. So right now, it's kind of weird, but it went from being daylight to now being like, looks like it's nighttime, and it's not. It's only 8 something at night. What time is it? It's 8:36. Anyone who lives in this area knows, not that dark usually. So yeah, just a big fire. It's just happening. Hopefully this year we don't lose the house almost for a third time. We like every year we've lived here now, we've just about lost the house. So we've put in fire suppression systems and things like that. We put in safety measures so we don't lose the house. We could lose the land again, and but we won't lose the house. My insurance company probably likes that. I don't have to do that, but I kind of like my insurance company. They're a personal company who deals with it. There's like a group of people who specialize in it. It's not like a State Farm, TD Insurance, things like that. It's a very small company. They're brokers, and they just bid out. Every year I bid out my insurance. I'm not loyal to insurance companies, never have been, never will be. Same thing with loans companies, truck companies. I don't give a fuck if I have a good reputation. TD is normally who we deal with when it comes to loans, but for whatever reason they did not want to work with me on this one. The guy that normally deals with our account for loans, Jesus, this is loud. Just stop. You're just horrible. I'm just listening to a random radio station. Yeah, we normally deal with TD for most of our loans. The guy we normally deal with, because when it comes to commercial loans, you don't just system pop. That just doesn't exist, because you have to share P&L and all that stuff. Profit and loss, by the way, if you don't know what P&L is. And so he was out of town on vacation. We couldn't get it done. The person that was replacing him told us we had too much credit utilization, and that we do not qualify for the loan. We do have a lot of credit utilizations because we use our credit cards for points and cash back, things like that. We also get discounts at fuel. So yeah, all of our company credit cards get used a lot. Like, we'll probably put $200,000 on a credit card every month, and with a limit of $50,000, but because it's always near the max, we'll use it every week. We pay it off, but the time it gets registered and to the credit bureau for the company, sometimes it shows a really high balance. So it is that. Okay. I couldn't care less. It's just someone texted me about stuff I couldn't care about. But pretty much that's how this industry works. So we have a lot of companies who understand how this industry works, and we need specialists that understand how it works, how it takes place. And we built a reputation with this guy, and he knows. Like, when we don't get system pop, we call him, we tell him what we're doing, the truck we're buying. We're not extremely crazy on the bills. We haggle like a motherfucker when it comes to the dealing. Like, I literally walked to a dealership and say you're making a flat today. Anyone who works for deals knows what that is. We're not a Freddy and we're not a rope. So we negotiate very, very aggressively. And that's just because at the end of the day, $1,000 saved here is pretty much 10, 15 grand down the road in savings. So especially when it comes to interest of 10% for most company loans, or 8%, 9%, things like that. You don't get prime interest rate like a personal truck. You don't get that 2.9. You don't get the 3.9. With companies, there's a lot more risk because you're not signing your personal name to it. So the banks don't give you that. And usually those 0% interest loans that everyone thinks, oh, I get 0% interest. It's not actually 0% interest. If you pay MSRP, you get 0% interest, but if you actually negotiate under, the interest rate goes up. So sometimes it's better to calculate if paying MSRP at 0% versus the rebates and the discount you can get, which one's the better deal. Sometimes paying more upfront and getting 0% is better than getting 7% on a $10,000 discount, for an example. Now, just wanted to update you guys. The truck is done. The wind's coming in now. And for now, everything that needs to be done is done. We topped up the diff as well. Changed the air filter. Transmission, we need to get a couple more liters of trans fluid, but the truck drives fine. We took it for a spin. We brought it back in the shop to top it up. We do need more fluid. I'm out of fluid, and so we have to get more. The other thing we're going to do when we get back, hopefully the turbo actuator is in. The turbo actuator went a couple months ago. We ordered one from City Diesel. It got shipped out the other day, and it's coming from Texas. So we're hoping it's going to get here. We have priority shipping on it, so hoping it's here by Monday or Tuesday. Monday is a holiday for us here in BC, but for Canada Post, it's not. They'll deliver to my PO box on Monday. So hopefully everything goes well. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Just a little something outside of driving all day long. You get to listen to my annoying voice for a while. But if you have any questions, comments about owning a Dodge or anything like that, let me know. We are continuing the videos of how to hotshot. I just want to update you guys that now. But as you know, I got kicked down a flight of stairs pretty much. And so everything got kind of put on the back burner. They're being made, but we're catching up so far. We're just slammed with work right now. So we've been going non-stop. So when you get home, these videos take a good 8 hours to 7 hours to edit, plus rendering, plus upload. I don't have the fastest internet in the world where I live. I live in the countryside. Starlink is what we use for our main internet. Masscon is our secondary, just for that reason, because they go down each other. So Masscon goes down all the time. Starlink goes down sometimes. It's gotten a lot better over the years. But, it switches. So we have redundancy when it comes to networking. I am a computer geek, as you could say, but I do hotshot full time. So I have an enterprise grade network in my house using Ubiquiti. We have pretty wild infrastructure in the house for what it is, but we need it for the security system. We also need it for the cameras, for the servers and things like that. And we do run servers for like sharing movies, Plex servers, things like that, game servers. So yeah, it's just one of those things where I have 3 videos queued up, and right now I've been troubleshooting my PC here, which has been having issues. I just upgraded it. It's a 5900X and a 3080 Ti, or 3080 12 gig, sorry, not Ti. 3080 12 gig and 64 gigs of RAM and stuff like that. And we just been having some issues with Adobe, the latest update. If we're trying to edit, it says it runs out of memory and it crashes the entire computer, but it's not running out of memory. It has dedicated 32 gigs for itself. We have 64 gigs of total available storage. So I don't know what's going on with it. It's only when we import a lot of video. So we're trying to figure it out. But, you know, hope you like the videos. Hopefully give you a good update here. And if you are still watching to this point, thank you. I really appreciate it. YouTube really appreciates it too. It shows that you like the content, and it's going to feed more of this kind of content to you. When I do the Egr Delete, some of you are probably interested in that, so I will do a step-by-step guide for it. We have a Evil Energy Egr Delete, not just the Egr Delete, but we also have the valve, the throttle valve. That's also being removed because they're pointless. They're stupid and useless in the diesel. They're mostly just in control of the EGR system, so it sucks the exhaust gases back, and we have a check engine light because it's permanently stuck open because of the tuner. Once we remove it, then we will update the tuner to disable that code altogether. We're going to clear the codes on the truck right now, drive it, because we do have to pick up a dump trailer here on, well, we're leaving tomorrow night and picking it up in the morning and taking it to Calgary. So that's just what it is. And so we'll know if the transmission issue of low pressure goes away. It is an intermittent code, so it only has shown up 3 times. I put my scan tool in to the truck, and I have a snap-on scan tool. So instead of using the tuner, I jumped into it. I checked all the things, checked the fuel line pressures, I checked transmission pressures, I checked everything. I diagnosed the entire trucks. Anything that has a sensor, I checked it. Emissions failed, obviously, were deleted. So emissions had issues, but outside of that, the transmission line pressure was perfect. Couldn't replicate the code. When we had the scan tool hooked up to the truck, when we did have the old transmission fluid in there and the old filters, I was able to replicate the code. Usually, if you put it in drive and go to break it, like kind of like you do a burnout, but you just get to the point where the tires are not loose, but they're rotating a little bit, I guess, like trying to. It would have an intermittent code there from first gear. The pressure would drop down just a hair below what it was required. It never went to 0. It just went down below to where RAM was like, hey, something's happening, and throws a code. Try to repeat the process with the new fluid and the new filters. That was not able to reproduce. Actually, the pressure went up like it's supposed to. So I'm guessing the filters were clogged up or just straight up worn out. 100,000 kilometers is a lot. This truck does not do light kilometers. This truck does a lot of big kilometers with a lot of weight on it. On average, about 10,000 pounds. This truck works for a living. It's not a daily driver you take grocery shopping. Even though it has done that, those are the days it likes. But most of the time, this truck's hooked up to a trailer. It's pulling that low boy everywhere. Soon to be pulling a 40-foot gooseneck everywhere. And if the transmission on the next service in 60,000 kilometers, so at 380,000 kilometers, if we do see the same amount of metal and same with chunks again, I'm going to service it, I'm going to put a pan in it, and we're taking it to the dealership and trading it in. And they'll give me about 35,000 bucks for this truck because that's the going rate for them. So, and then we'll just pick up a new one because I don't want to replace the transmission. Seeing the fact that, I don't know. We'll see how much I can negotiate. Either I'm going to put an Allison 1000 into it. ATS, if you ever see this, help me out here. I'll pay for it if you can give me a nice heavy discount. But on top of that, or we're going to get a new truck. One of those two things are definitely what's going to happen in that situation. Or it could be fine. It could just be normal wear and tear, and we just see nothing when we service it again. And in that case, let it roll. And we'll keep saving up money to buy the Allison so when eventually it does die. I'm not replacing it with an OEM part. I'm going to be putting an Allison 1000 into this bitch and calling it a day, because then this truck will never die because it's studded. I have a big head gasket on it, multi-layer head gasket, whatever you want to call it. Egr Delete it as soon as I can. Bigger turbo actuator. I am replacing the air intake because it's starting to get broken, not because it's not any good. It's just it's starting to fall apart. The plastic and the heat and stuff is starting to mess with it. And then we're replacing a bunch of stuff. So we got a bunch of parts for this truck right now. Like we have all Banks Performance upgrade turbo parts, not the turbo itself, but like the intercooler, things like that. The intercooler is starting to show its age. A Monster Ram intake thing, the Egr Delete, and all that stuff. So it's going to be a lot of modifications coming. It just comes down to when we have time these engines are not easy to work on. They do take time, and if you don't have time, or if you live in a place that gets plus 40 and plus 35 or plus 34 is considered a cool day to work on the truck, it is what it is. Hey, I'm rambling on. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you later in the next one. Peace.